don't need to assume. See, what they have said is we have consecutive odd integers. In a case of any consecutive integers or uniformly spaced values, what would be the mean? Middle value. यूनिफॉर्मली स्पेस्ड है, मतलब सबके बीच में डिस्टेंस सेम है, तो उनका जब एवरेज लोगे तो बीच वाला वैल्यू होगा, राइट? फॉर एग्जांपल लेट अस से दिस 1 2 3 4 5, everything is uniformly spaced, average would be 3, so sum would be 3 into 5, number of digits into average. करके भी देख लो 15 आएगा, राइट? इट विल sum of the all the items क्या होता है? एवरेज इंटू नंबर ऑफ आइटम्स, 3 into 5. हाँ, वो भी वेरीफाई करके देख लो कि हो जाएगा वो. इफ आई रिमूव वन नंबर, व्हाट इज द एवरेज ऑफ दीज 4 नंबर्स? मिडिल वैल्यू 2.5. हाँ, 10 करके देख लो, 7 2 9 1 10, right? So whenever we have uniformly spaced things, then we have average as middle value. ठीक है? हाँ, तो अब देखो, हाँ राइट, we have 13 two-digit consecutive odd numbers. So mean of those 13 numbers would be 7th value. 6 इधर, बीच में 7th value. We want the 7th odd number in that list. That would be the mean. And what is given? If 39 is the mean of first 5 numbers, so you know 39 is the 39 is the mean of first 5 such odd integers that are 13 में से पहले 5 जो है उनका mean है 39, तो 39 is third. 2 इधर बीच में 39, पहले 5 का mean है ना 39, है ना? हाँ, थर्ड इज 39, तो निकालो 7th उसके आगे 41 43 45 एंड 47. नहीं, गुड मॉर्निंग, राइट? So we have 39 as the mean of first 5 such number. So 39 is in the middle of those 5 numbers because these are consecutive odd integers. Consecutive नहीं बोलते तो नहीं कर सकते, but they have said these are consecutive odd integers. तो पीछे वाले होंगे 37 35, next would be 41 43. These are the first 5 odd numbers in this list of 13. We want 7th, so we have 5 6 and 7. Right? I'm telling you right now that this fact that if you have uniformly spaced things, then average would be in the middle. That will be used in one of the questions of ratio proportion. I want you to identify and solve just by this observation. Okay? Wow, whatever we did in this question, that we have this uniformly spaced integer. We have 13 consecutive odd integers. So when we have consecutive things which are uniformly spaced, next, in between any two there will be a difference of 2. Then average would be the middle value. If you have uniform spacing, average would be the middle value, right?
But in case of say that 39 or whatever the number is the mean of first 4 digits, then there would be
39 is the mean of first 4 digits.
Like,
and in case of odd integers, वो नहीं देंगे वैसा कुछ. That number, right, नहीं देंगे. If they give, then it would be in case of even numbers. Then what would happen? 39 has to be in the middle of even numbers. So it is 40 and 38, and because we are talking about 4, this has to be. उन्होंने क्वेश्चन पूछा कि अगर ये 39 इन्होंने 5 की जगह बीच में बोला कि 5 का, वो अगर बोलते इफ दे हैव सेड दैट 39 is the mean of first 4 numbers, then what would we do? I said they won't ask the question where 39 is the middle odd number of in the list of odd number. If they have to ask, they will ask for even numbers, and 39 in the middle of 38 and 40, and other even numbers 36 and 40, 42. ये होगा क्वेश्चन. फाइन, चले आगे. चलो. Perhaps you didn't understand. No need to do anything, any of that, because these are consecutive integers. Average is the middle value. So we are given, we have to find what is the average of these 13 numbers. So average of these 13 consecutive odd integers is the 7th odd number. 6 on this side, 6 on this side, in the middle there will be 7th odd number. We want to find out 7th odd number in this list, and what we are given is 39 is the mean of first 5 such numbers. So 39 is in the middle of first 5. So 39 is here, and these are the first 5, then 6th and 7th. Next question. Did you guys understand the question? No. We have 5 people in the family. Okay? And their sum of their ages 3 years ago was 80 years. 3 साल पहले 3 years ago, sum of their ages was 80. Sum दिया है, sum is given. Then they are saying the average age of family today is same as it was 3 years ago. Average age of that family has to be equated today and 3 years ago. It is same. Average age of family 3 years ago was same as it is today. What is averages 3 years ago? Sum is given. Sum is given, 80. 3 years ago ka sum is given. Number is given. 5 people in the family. You can find out the average. 5 years ago average easily. 3 years ago average you can easily find out. Now question is, there is addition of baby. The baby is born in between, and because of that addition, it is like person joining a group. So instead of 5 you will have 6 people now, and now we have to calculate sum of the age, assuming a baby's age to be some b. 5 साल पहले सबका sum of age 3 साल पहले 80 था. So what would be the sum of age today of these 5 people? हर कोई 3 साल से बड़ा हो जाएगा. So in the old sum 3 of every person will get added, right? Correct na Selva? So sum of the ages of these 5 people would be 95 plus baby is added. So 95 plus b would be the sum of ages today, and divide by 6. We just have to equate old average is equal to new average, because they have said averages is same. Yes, that is correct, Abhijit, Ashwini. One. हो गया निरंजन, इक्वेशन बन गया नहीं? बता ही दिया मैंने क्या है इक्वेशन. What is the average 3 years ago? 16. And what is the average today? Sum by number B. हाँ तो इक्वेट कर दो बस दोनों. इट इज सेम ना दिया है. Average of family today is same as it was 3 years ago. Equate those two values. There is equation in one variable. Only variable is B. Correct? हाँ 1. आपको वर्कशीट 5-6 मिली है? 5-6-7 परसेंटेज की भी नहीं मिली है. मैंने भेजी तो है. I'll resend it. अपलोड भी नहीं हुई है. कौन सी हुई है? वो कैलेंडर्स हुई है मुझे, क्योंकि एक स्टूडेंट का कल कॉल आया था कि अपलोड नहीं हुई है. कैलेंडर्स अपलोड हुई कि नहीं, लेट मी नो if somebody has access. बुकलेट नहीं, वर्कशीट. वर्कशीट नंबर 5 हो गई है. ठीक है, वर्कशीट नंबर 5 हो गई है. 6 हो गई है. 7 हो गई है. ब्लड रिलेशन नहीं? पक्का? फाइन. और तो आपको प्रिंट नहीं मिला, ये आपका है. प्रिंट तो हुआ होगा यार, भेजा है तो. अलास. हाँ पोर्टल पे अपलोड हुई तो मैंने तो सेंड किया, वरना तो पोर्टल पे अपलोड नहीं होगी. ब्लड रिलेशन, एवरेज और रेशियो प्रोपोर्शन तीनों का मैं आपको वर्कशीट दे रहा हूँ. परसेंटेज का तो मिला बोले ना तुम, पोर्टल पे डाला है ना. हो गया राइट निरंजन सॉल्व हो गया अरे तुमने एक क्वेश्चन भी तो बना दिया क्या हुआ हाँ ना 16 is the average of these 5 people 3 years ago and today if the baby is added their ages some of their ages these 5 people would be 95 because everyone would be 3 years older so everyone's age would increase by 3 so some would increase by 15 plus baby is added and there are 6 people and it is saying that average age of family today is same as it was 3 years ago. If you solve this equation you will get b as 1 baby is 1 year old 16 6 is 96 minus 95 would be 1 huh yes बरोबर है next question पक्का observe here importantly that it is per year not per month rest of the things are given monthly जयेश देखा था per year good you are acting as per my expectation now resolve हो गया okay good yes Abhijit that is correct yes correct Ashwini वो आया था क्या सर सेम मिस्टेक दैट इज व्हाई इट वुड बी देयर ऑप्शन ना तुम लोग के लिए ले बेटा सॉल्व कर ले सही से और बाहर जाके सबको बताना कि मैंने सही किया है निरंजन हो गया देखो ना एवरेज मंथली इनकम ऑफ पर्सन इन फैमिली ऑफ 5 इज 10,000 एवरेज इज गिवन नंबर ऑफ पर्सन इन फैमिली इज गिवन व्हाट कैन यू फाइंड आउट सम व्हाट वुड बी सम पूरा फैमिली 50,000 रुपए कमाता है एंटायर इनकम ऑफ फैमिली मंथली इज 50,000 रुपीज नाउ व्हाट हैपेंस सडनली इज दैट वन पर्सन इन द फैमिली उसका इनकम बढ़ जाता है एंड yes his average what would be the now we have to again find out average income increased by 1,20,000 per year so 10,000 rupees per month right so family's monthly income increases because of this increment question is what is the average monthly income now number of people same जे पहले भी 5 थे अब भी 5 है but income they earn is more so total is more पहले सब 50,000 रुपए पर मंथ कमाते थे अब 60,000 कमा रहे तो व्हाट इज द एवरेज 60,000 डिवाइडेड बाय 5 टोटल डिवाइडेड बाय नंबर वही करना है बार बार वही करना है राइट सिंपल क्वेश्चन नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन नहीं हुआ क्या डी ओके 80% ओके क्वेश्चन क्या है क्वेश्चन देखो परसेंटेज मेल्स एम्प्लॉयड इन द कंपनी दैट इज व्हाट वी वांट टू फाइंड आउट परसेंटेज फाइंड आउट करना है So remember, recall the percentage chapter. It was always beneficial whenever we wanted to find out what is the percentage. It was always beneficial to start with 100. If you start with 100, then absolute value becomes percentage value. We don't have to calculate percentage separately. So assume that this company has 100 people, and out of them, let us say M are males, which we want to find out. Whatever value of M you would find out, that would be the percentage value of males, because we are calculating out of 100 how many males. Let us say number of males is M. Whatever absolute value for M you will get, that would be the percentage value as well, because we are starting with 100. Percentage निकालना है ना. So either you take 2-3 variables and those variables at the end will get cancelled, or you start with 100. तो सीधा percentage आएगा. कैसे किया आपने? हाँ. ठीक है. 80% खा दिया है, मतलब ऑप्शन से किया. अच्छा, ठीक, कोई बात नहीं. Percentage chapter you just recall that whenever we wanted to find out percentage, we started with 100. 100 ले तो whatever absolute value you get is also the percentage value. So assume that there are 100 people total, 100 employees of this company, out of which M are male. So how many are female? 100 minus M, rest of them are female, right? We have M as males, 100 minus M as females. Now we have numbers. All we want to find out is value of M, जो भी आएगी. देखो first up, average monthly salary paid to all the employees is 5,000. So what is the, you are given average, we have assumed number, you can find out the total. How much is company paying monthly in terms of salaries? 100 people we have assumed, 100 into 5,000, so 5 lakh, right? Fine. The monthly average income paid to male and female is this. So monthly average income of males is 50 to 100. We have average and we have number M, right? What is the total salary paid to males? 50 to 100 into M, right? And number salary, total salary paid to females, this is the total salary company pays to males, this is the total salary company pays to females. If I add both of them, will I not get total salary company is paying monthly? One equation, one variable, you can solve. What do you mean, Ashwini? Mixture and alligation? Can you explain? Oh, 1 second. You can unmute. Are you able to? Acha, wait. Now try. हाँ. Hmm. 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 So she did what you did. Fine. हाँ. अच्छा. ये हो गया सॉल्व? एवरीबडी? निरंजन समझ गए? Because we were talking about percentages, it was better to start with 100. तो हाँ ये वाला क्वेश्चन क्या है देखो ना, परसेंटेज ऑफ मेल एम्प्लॉयड इन द company. So in the percentage chapter, if we every time we started with 100, why? Because in absolute value became same as percentage value. So here also I assume that there are 100 people in the company, and I want to find out value of males, or the percentage value of males, percentage number of males. Because we started with 100, whatever value absolute number of males I will get, that would be the same as percentage value. And I assume small m to be number of males. So females would be 100 minus m, right? Correct? And now the monthly average salary of every employee is 5,000, right? So total salary paid by the company monthly is 5 lakh, because 100 employees we have assumed. So 5,000 into 100, right? समझ गए? This is the salary paid to all the males, average into number. This is the salary paid to all the females, average into number. And total salary paid would be addition of these two equation in one variable. Simply you can solve. 5200 minus 4200 m, you get 1000 m plus 4200 into 100 is equal to 5 lakh, right? You can cut 3 zeros, 2 1 3, so we have, right? हाँ, सब जगह डिवाइड कर रहा हूँ 1000 से. Every term I am dividing by 1000. This also, here also I cut na. So m is equal to 500 minus 420. So m is equal to 80. Percentage value is also 80.
I just solved it. How
Equation क्या है? 5200 m plus 4200 into, no, on the right, 5000 m कैसे? Okay. फिर भी 880 का 800 है. गलती हो सकती है बट इतनी. Anyway, the question you were asking, Ajinkya, the question was that we wanted to find out, we are given 13 consecutive odd integers and we want to find out their average. That is the question, and given is first 5 integers, first 5 of those 13 have average 39. Now the thing is, when we have uniformity, symmetry, average would be in the middle. For example, if I have 1 2 3 4 5, there is uniformity, 1 1 difference, average would be, if I have, average would be, and so on. So if I have consecutive odd integers, 13 consecutive odd integers, what would be the average? 7th value. Question is basically find out the 7th odd number in that list, and we are given 5th, average of first 5 is 39. So 39 is the third out of those 5. This is 39, which is third out of the 5. Rest are 37, 35, 41, 43. This is 5th. This is 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. Right? Because of uniformity, average will sit in the middle. And one more thing I said, that this fact that average will sit in the middle will be used to solve one of the PYQs from ratio proportion chapter just by observation. Let us see who can see it, who can see or who can trap that. ठीक है? Next question. This is a table given. of two students and their marks. This is student A, this is student B. Maximum marks, the marks they received. Fine. Question is, find the difference between mean aggregate percentage marks. Mean aggregate percentage marks समझते हो? आपके स्कूल में आपकी मार्कशीट आती थी, फाइनली कुछ परसेंटेज मार्क्स आते थे, वो निकालना है, राइट? आपको टोटल कितने मिले सारे सब्जेक्ट्स में मिला के, आउट ऑफ हाउ मेनी into 100 is your mean aggregate percentage marks. If every paper in your school was of 100 marks and there were, for example, six papers, so whatever number of marks you have received in every paper was added, divided by 600 into 100 was your percentage marks, mean aggregate percentage marks. We want to find out those for these two students and their differences question. हो गया? क्या आ रहा है? बायस आ जाएगा उनमें. Yes, that is correct, Ashwini. आप स्कूल में अपने मार्क्स कैसे कैलकुलेट होते हैं वो याद करो, वही करना है. Only there is no best of 5 or best of 3 or that kind of thing. अनिकेत आ रहा है? सेल्वा, हरिता इज एब्सेंट टुडे. क्या हो रहा है? स्लीपिंग? यू आर नॉट अवेयर. ओके, राइट, करेक्ट यशराज. निकाले परसेंटेज. निरंजन, परसेंटेज निकला? कैलकुलेट कर रहे हो? जस्ट हैव टू ऐड मार्क्स. कितने मिले हैं आउट ऑफ हाउ मेनी, कितने मिले हैं आउट ऑफ हाउ मेनी, इंटू 100 दोनों जगह करोगे तो परसेंटेज आ जाएगा. अबीर आ गया? यश, अब वो लाने की कोशिश करोगे यश, डी लाने की कोशिश करोगे. यस, दैट इज आल्सो करेक्ट यशराज. इज डूइंग नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन भी हो ही गया होगा आपका. सेम आंसर. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन हो गया. हो गया, बताओ व्हाट इज द टोटल हियर, टोटल मार्क्स ऑफ ए 210 आउट ऑफ हियर बी के मार्क्स आउट ऑफ राइट, तो परसेंटेज ऑफ ए इज 210 by 350 into 100, that would come out as 3 5 20 360, 60%, and this would come out as same 375 into 100, same 60% आएगा, this is also 60%, so difference between them is 0. ठीक है, यही किया सबने. Last question of this booklet. Correct, that is correct question. हो गया, क्या आ रहा है? सलवा नहीं, क्या बात कर रहे हो? This 2011 question. See, first line is student in her first 3 tests receives average score of n points. We are given numbers and average. You can find out total. Huh? Sum or total? So sum would be 3 into n, 3n, and then they are saying that she exceeds her previous average score by 20 marks, meaning she gets n plus 20 marks in the 4th test. So what, and we want to find out average of first 4 tests. Average would be sum by number is 4 always because there are 4 tests, and sum is first 3 tests plus last test. First 3 tests is 3n and last test is n plus 20. This is the answer. First 3 tests 3n score, and last test they are saying it is exceeding previous average by 20 marks, n plus 20. So it would be n plus 3n plus n, so 4n plus 20 by 4 is equal to 4. 4n divided by 4 is n, 20 by 4 is 5. That is correct, no problem. आपका क्या था? This, हाँ, so 20 marks you distributed in the 4 test. ठीक है, no problem. ये भी तो 2 स्टेप का ही है, इसमें भी बहुत टाइम थोड़ी जाएगा, ये तो मतलब हाँ, that is okay, then it is fine. But if not, you should be able to fall back on the basics. अगर नहीं क्लिक होता है तो fall back on the basics. Average is equal to sum divided by number. and that should be it. ठीक है? Any doubts in this chapter? Huh? No? Worksheet I have sent. Solve the worksheets. निरंजन, वो थोड़ी सी डिफिकल्टी हुई शायद इस चैप्टर में. हाँ, पहले एक बार और देख लो. You have video access. You can watch once more and let me know if the difficulty still persists. अपने पेज पे देख लेना, है ना? And that is okay. अगर एक आध चैप्टर में डिफिकल्टी हो रही है तो कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं, प्रोवाइडेड बाकी में नहीं हो रही है ना? ऑब्वियसली we have to prepare a rational strategy that suits us. Ultimately qualify होना है सब में, ठीक है? 150 mark is a challenge. It is not necessity. Challenge from my side. और definitely 150 लेके तो आओ. नो 70 मत बोलो, थोड़ा सा एक 80 प्लस 85 प्लस अगर आ जाए ना, तो जब तक रिजल्ट नहीं आता ना तब तक वो रहता नहीं है दिमाग में. अदरवाइज कि इफ यू आर 70 ना, डेली यू विल गो लुक एट द न्यू आंसर की दैट इज देयर इन द मार्केट. इन्होंने ये दिया, ये अच्छा है, इन्होंने मेरा वाला दिया, यही सही होता है, हर साल यही सही आता है, मुझे पता है. वो सब नहीं होना चाहिए. इवन इफ यू गेट 2-3 क्वेश्चन रॉन्ग, दैट शुड मैटर फॉर क्वालिफिकेशन. इतना आना चाहिए 85 प्लस 90 प्लस आ जाए कि 10 क्वेश्चन एक्स्ट्रा गलत हो जाए, कोई प्रॉब्लम है ना? मतलब 45 अटेम्प्ट करके आए एंड 30 सही हो जाए तो भी कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं होना चाहिए. दैट मच लेगरूम यू शुड हैव. 30 नहीं, 30 थोड़ा ज्यादा बोल दिया, चलो 31 32 31 32 उतना ठीक है. पर 30 पे भी पास तो हो जाओगे मुझे लग रहा है. कैसे? इट इज 2.5 मार्क्स पर क्वेश्चन ना. तो हाँ, अच्छा, हाँ, 30 क्वेश्चन राइट आए गए तो कितने मार्क्स आएंगे? हाँ, नहीं 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 होगा, इनफ नहीं होगा. 30 रंग नहीं होने चाहिए. 32 33, हाँ, 32 13 इज फाइन. तो 13 गलती करने की गुंजाइश दे रहे हैं हम लोग. अगर इफ यू अटेम्प्ट 45, इफ यू अटेम्प्ट 50, अगेन यू कैन मेक मोर मिस्टेक्स. ये देखो ऐसे स्टूडेंट होते हैं Shuni is saying, let me clear CSAT, sir. I will give you gift. Forget about 150. Every one of you clearing is gift enough for me. No need. पर हेल्प हो रही है, लग रहा है कॉन्फिडेंस थोड़ा बढ़ रहा है, हो रहा है ना? दैट इज इम्पोर्टेंट. हाँ हाँ फर्स्ट टेस्ट होगा होगा. एंड राइट नाउ वी आर इन जनवरी, दैट इज ऑन फर्स्ट वीक ऑफ जनवरी. दिस विल 5 months टू गो, है ना, टू एग्जाम. ऑफ कोर्स यू विल कंटिन्यू प्रैक्टिसिंग एंड डिपेंडिंग ऑन, मैंने एक स्ट्रेटेजी वीडियो डाला था लास्ट वीक यूट्यूब पे. इफ यू वांट यू कैन सी दैट. मतलब ऐसा तो है नहीं कुछ में जहाँ पे जो ऐसा बोल रहा हूँ जो आपको नहीं बोलता हो, बट स्टिल इफ यू वांट कि लाइक फिर एक बार जस्ट कि क्या करना चाहिए, देयर आई टॉक अबाउट कि इट डिपेंड्स ऑन वेयर यू स्टैंड. उतना वैसी स्ट्रेटेजी आपको डिवाइस करनी चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि ब्लाइंडली हर किसी को एक ही स्ट्रेटेजी वर्क करे, या फिर इफ समबडी इज वेरी कॉन्फिडेंट इन सीसैट देन परहैप्स ही शुड बी मोर वरीड अबाउट हिज जीएस. If you are very afraid of the CSAT, then you have to give more practice test, you have to revise, you have to give more time to CSAT daily. वो depend करता है आप पे. टेस्ट तो दोगे, mock test please, all of you, however confident you are, please give mock test because CSAT is becoming kind of dicey. Even best of the people are getting failed in CSAT. right? तो ये मत करना. गुड गुड, ये मत करना, इग्नोर कर रहे हो. At least once you should solve PYQs on your own after our course gets over, and at the very least you should solve 8 to 10 mock tests, preferably offline. Of course you can come to level up whatever mock test we prepare, you can give those, or you can pick from market and you give those. But just remember that UPSC has entire year to prepare those papers. We don't. Okay. So our quality or coaching institutes question paper quality will never match the UPSC. You have to remember that. Even if you are getting 120, 113 mock test here, it does not mean you will clear CSAT for certain. Sure. समझ गए ना? So don't get overconfident like that. Don't get complacent like that. Get confidence from that. Yes, I'm doing good. 120 marks is good marks. So I should get at least 80 marks in the actual examination. Have that confidence or faith in you. But ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए कि 120 आया तो चल बस 120 आ रहा है मुझे और क्या जरूरत है मुझे. Don't do that, because those paper would be different. You will be in examination situation. There will be time constraint, time pressure. All those factors will get added, and your first paper ka burden, how it goes. If first paper is bad according to what you imagine it to be, of course it won't be all the flowers and roses. बोलते हैं ना? It won't be like that. Of course, you will not solve beyond 50 questions. You won't know beyond 50 questions in any question paper. So you will feel after coming out of the examination hall, yaar aaj to gaye. Even if you have done well, because you don't know. What you remember after coming out of examination hall is the question you have performed worst in or question you have performed best in. कि जो पता नहीं था लेकिन तुक्का मार दिया तो वो पहले आके चेक करेंगे. Of course, that's our tendency. Whatever answer we have just marked like that, we just check first that. The bulk of the questions which we have managed well or reasonably well, that you won't remember immediately coming out of the examination hall, and that you won't check as well, that you shouldn't check as well. Let it be. हो गया. You can't go into the past. हो गया वो खत्म. Move on. There is still one more paper. Time for evaluation will be there, but that is not the paper. Time in between is not the time to evaluate yourself or your performance. That would be after 5. फिर कर लेना आराम से, कोई बात नहीं. जो करना है कर लो फिर. But not in between that period. Means अच्छा. It depends again. How confident are you about your prelims? That is the main question. If you are not, then perhaps let's write answers after prelims. If you are, then keep writing for some more time. Or otherwise also risky na. If you don't clear prelims, then that is what I am saying, that it depends on your confidence level. How confident you are. Again, what suits for me may not suit for you. If I tell you what I did, it may not be correct for you. I never studied for prelim more than 2 months. But because it suited me. Because from my very first attempt, I never got stuck at pre. If you have, you should not listen to me directly as it is. Matlab. You should add your filters. That because you would have your baggage with you, that I have failed in prelims. You would have your fear with you. You would have that what if question, that what if I fail again. That I don't have. So theoretically, study wise, prelims is examination of 2.5-3 months. But to gather the confidence to go into the examination hall, people need 6 months. 6 months of study or 5 months of study or whatever. Again, that depends on where you think you stand or where in your imagination you stand. Not even actual standing. It's your perception of where you stand. अगर कोई प्री फेल हुआ तो उसमें होगा डर. Obviously होगा. Right? If somebody is failing in mains again and again, he will be afraid about that examination. It's but natural. CSAT. Why is everyone so afraid about CSAT? Because people keep failing in it. Best of the people they know. They get afraid. That is how fear is built. Questions are not difficult. We are seeing it. Question अगर if you look standalone, कि कोई भी question एक उठा के देख लो, you won't feel it is difficult. The question is not difficult. Fear arises from multiple factors, but primarily because best of the people keep failing, and even experiences, past experiences are like that I didn't have time, I just got hurried. I was, after 1 hour I only attempted 10 questions. Of course you will face, there will be fear mongering. It is not only because question paper is getting difficult. Yes, it is getting little bit tougher from past few years, but if you look at 22 paper and 23 paper, there was no substantial jump in difficulty level. We see 22 questions, we see 23 questions, there is no substantial jump in difficulty level. डिफिकल्टी लेवल में जंप नहीं हुआ है. क्वेश्चंस, सम क्वेश्चंस आर लेंथी हियर, वहां पे भी थे, यहाँ पे स्टक हो गए लोग. Because of that 22 also, a lot of people failed in prelims. Lot of good students. Anup failed in prelims. You met Anup, right? ऐसा नहीं है कि फेल नहीं होते. तभी इग्नोर नहीं करना है. Even if you have done foundation, even if you have done all the PYQs, you have to do it once more. You have to give mock test. You have to revise. Don't take it for granted. That is what I am saying. They don't take CSAT for granted. Perhaps they will ask simpler question this time because of all the protests and all. Perhaps. If you ask me, that would be my guess that इस बार का पेपर आसान आएगा. But again, we have to prepare for the worst. That is UPSC. बोले कि जो करना है प्रोटेस्ट करो, हम जैसे करना है वही करेंगे, है ना? वो भी हो सकता है. We have to prepare for the worst from our side. हमारे तो साल जा रहे हैं यार, उनका कुछ नहीं जा रहा. We are gambling our years in our prime youth in this examination. तो अपना तो साल जाएगा. That is why we can't afford to get complacent or take it for granted in any way. Just वो ensure करो, confidence बढ़ते रहना चाहिए. Ultimately, if you go inside with the confidence कि हाँ सब करके आया हूँ मैं, you will come out solving in a better manner. ठीक है. मॉक टेस्ट का पर्पज ही वो है कि जो एग्जाम का कंडीशन को रेप्लिकेट करने वाली चीज है कि बाकी भी लोग तुम्हारे आजू बाजू सॉल्व कर रहे हैं. टाइम प्रेशर ऑफ कोर्स एग्जैक्टली रेप्लिकेट नहीं हो सकता, बिकॉज इन योर माइंड यू नो दैट दिस इज अ मॉक टेस्ट, बट यस एटलीस्ट समवेयर वी कैन गो क्लोज. ठीक है. कोई अगर उसमें बीच में एग्जामिनेशन हो, एक्चुअल एग्जामिनेशन, वो देने चाहते हो, कोई फॉर्म आता है तो वो दे देना, प्रैक्टिस ही हो जाए एग्जामिनेशन सेंटर जाके बैठने की. उसमें सिलेक्ट नहीं हो गए बिकॉज यू आर नॉट स्टडीड फॉर दैट एग्जामिनेशन, दैट इज फाइन. पर्पज ही वो नहीं था अपना. पर्पज वाज नॉट टू गेट सिलेक्टेड इन दैट एग्जामिनेशन. पर्पज वाज टू जस्ट गो टू द एग्जाम सेंटर एंड सिट देयर एंड सॉल्व द पेपर. यू कैन डू दैट. अगर कोई एग्जाम है तो देख लो. हाँ, कोई भी, आई डोंट नो. अच्छा, CSIR एग्जामिनेशन इज देयर, UPPCS is also there. कब है UPPCS? That is good time. Just give UPPCS. All of you fill out the forms. Even if you don't get selected in prelims, how does it matter? जाना भी नहीं था तुम्हें, ऐसा सोचो. मतलब in case you are somebody जिसको नहीं जाना. If you are somebody who wants to go to UPPCS, please prepare accordingly and then go to examination. MPSC भी है. MPSC लेकिन महाराष्ट्र जाना पड़ेगा आपको एग्जाम देने. अब वो अप्रैल में है शायद ना. Yes, that is in. It is in the April. You can give that. Those of you who want. नहीं, तो UPPCS ही दे दो, इधर ही दे देना. हाँ हाँ, प्रैक्टिस हो जाएगी. UPPCS is also good, I guess. हाँ, ठीक है, लेकिन मार्च में है ना. इट इज नॉट इन द अप्रैल, इट्स इन द मार्च, इट इज इन द मिडल. जाके घूम के आओ झांसी 2 दिन और क्या. झांसी के इधर I don't know, there is this place which is like only place जहाँ पे कुछ तो हिस्ट्री में पढ़ा था मैंने. कालसी करके जगह है, कालसी नियर झांसी. कालसी 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 या कालपी, कालपी या कालसी. इट इज वहां पे प्री हिस्टोरिक कुछ वो मिले हैं साइट्स, एंड इट इज आल्सो हिस्टोरिकली इंपॉर्टेंट ड्यू टू ब्रिटिश टाइम. ऐसा कुछ है. हिस्ट्री आई फॉरगॉटन. सी इट, यही काम होता है. दिस इज हाउ इट वर्क्स. इफ यू डोंट रिवाइज यू विल फॉरगेट. unless you are like somebody like Vivekananda or somebody who can remember, who have eidetic memory.
How many times you use divide?
As many times I guess I can. 5, 10, 15, 20 कोई काउंट नहीं है. ये हार्डवर्क का कोई सब्स्टिट्यूट है नहीं. ऑनेस्टली बता रहा हूँ, हार्डवर्क का कोई सब्स्टिट्यूट नहीं है. इट डजंट मैटर हु यू आर, इट डजंट मैटर कैटेगरी टू विच यू बिलोंग, हार्डवर्क का कोई सब्स्टिट्यूट नहीं. एंड वो भी ऐसा होता है ना कि आई गिव माय 6th अटेम्प्ट, 6 अटेम्प्ट दिए मैंने, तो पहले अटेम्प्ट में भी 5 रिवीजन किया होगा, दूसरे में 10 किया होगा, तीसरे में 15 किया होगा. क्यूमुलेटिव इफेक्ट तो होता ही है. ऐसा नहीं कि आई हैव फॉरगॉटन एवरीथिंग, आई जस्ट नीड 1 रिवीजन टू गेट इट ऑल बैक. तो 70-80 रिवीजन मान लो ऐसे, तो है ना, वो होता ही है. हार्डवर्क का कोई सब्स्टिट्यूट नहीं है, दैट इज फॉर श्योर. करना है, एक बचा था ना हमारा. लेट अस फिनिश दिस कॉम्प्रिहेंशन सो दैट वी कैन क्लोज दिस बुकलेट. हाँ, एक बचा था ना. यस, यही था ना, एलिफेंट्स वाला हो गया था. दिस इज अ स्मॉल वन. पढ़ो पढ़ो. ओके. हो गया. व्हाट आर योर आंसर्स? यश सी, निरंजन सी, ए सेल्वा, अजिंक्य सी, अबीर सीम सी. सी, आप दोनों का बी, ए सॉरी. ओके. अश्विनी इज आल्सो विथ ए. यशराज, अभिजीत, should we read? Okay. Yashraj C. There is clear 50-50 division between A and C. है ना? I hope one of you is correct. एक तो आएगा, कितना है प्रोबेबिलिटी? दोनों में से एक सही आने का प्रोबेबिलिटी कितना है? 1/2। दो दो ऑप्शन है, चार में से दो सही होने का प्रोबेबिलिटी क्या है? हाँ, the emissions humans put in the atmosphere now will affect the climate in the middle of century and onwards, right? Technological change, meanwhile, could make a future transition away from fossil fuels cheap, or it might not, leaving the world with a terrible choice between sharply reducing emissions at huge cost or suffering through the effects of unabated warming. You know this word unabated? Uncontrolled, uncontrolled warming. So what? Okay, Yashraj wants to speak. Yashraj, you can speak. बोलो क्या बोल रहे हो? हाँ हाँ बोलो. हम्म हम्म रख दो अब. अच्छा. हम्म 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 राइट राइट राइट. ठीक है. हम्म. So in the first few lines, author is saying that emissions we emit or whatever we emit today will haunt us in the future. Why is that? Do you know why is that? Not related to passage, but related to environment or climate change. In the climate negotiations as well, we are developing countries always say, or underdeveloped countries, that developed countries should pay because. So why does that matter? Whatever they have emitted 100, 150, 200 years back.
Now they're imposing on us, like the burden lies on us to pay for the pollution that is generating right now.
हाँ तो right now जो कर रहा है उसको पे करना चाहिए.
But the
Thing is, हाँ हाँ नहीं, their argument is कि yes, it happened 200 years back, but it is over now. मतलब their climate change was not an issue. Today it is an issue. So we should all not emit, or we should all reduce. Yes, that is the point. Why does the historic? हाँ. ठीक, सही बात. That is the core reason. Whenever we talk about climate justice or equity, it is with respect to this thing, that whatever carbon dioxide we emit today will remain in the atmosphere for 150 to 200 years. So what you have emitted then, it is still there. So historical emission matter for that reason, because carbon dioxide नहीं जाता है, 200 साल तक रहता है वो atmosphere. That is the reason why historical emissions are important in those discussions. Why we talk about historical polluters? Because वो रहता है 200 साल तक. अगर वो 5-10 साल में खत्म हो जाता तो then there was no discussion, there was no issue.
climate change is also because of that.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. And to say that developing countries should stop their development process, it's just not going to happen. Then we'll need to develop. There are people dying. A lot of economic issues are there. If you stop their development, where will they go? What will they eat? You are still emitting more than us. Yes, average US citizen emits twice as much as average Chinese citizen, 9 times as much as Indian citizen, 110 times as much as Ethiopian. So how can you talk about equity or justice? There is just nothing. All you do is hogwash. There is this environmentalist Sunita Narayan. You can watch her YouTube video or YouTube talks. She speaks very well about it. there is one video on down to earth. Down to earth पता है आपको? So their YouTube channel you can watch. There she gives like 20 minutes talk on this climate justice. You can make notes of it and refer to it for your GS3 as well as essays, environmental related essays. Whenever you want to argue something in favor of this climate justice, equity, वगैरह, common but differentiated responsibility, etc., etc., you can refer to that. It's a very good lecture, just 20 minutes, but very enriching. And Sunita Narayan, she is the foremost voice of environmentalists in India, and she is not a hypocrite like many of the other environmentalist organizations are. So that is why she is very, very respected. ठीक है, हाँ. So what the author is saying here is that what we do today will affect from mid of the century and onwards, and then he's talking about technological change meanwhile could make future transition easier, or he says it could not, he doesn't know, or we don't know rather, it is possibility, but if it doesn't, then the choice that we are left with is terrible one between sharply reducing emissions at huge cost, because if we are forced to reduce the emissions sharply, everything has to stop. Our industry has to stop, agriculture has to stop, all the activities that we do, electricity generation, everything has to stop. There are huge economic losses, human losses, and all kinds of losses, social losses, all kinds of losses, education loss and health loss, all kinds of losses will be there at huge cost. That cost is not only economic but social as well, and suffering, of course, or suffering through the effects of unabated warning. या तो कट करो या तो सफर करो. It is a terrible choice we will be left with if technology doesn't solve this, and it may or may not. We don't know. Many people are bullish on technology, that technology will definitely solve, but the author is clearly not that bullish. Author is saying there are both possibilities. If it solves, great, we are all happy, but there is possibility that it won't solve. If it doesn't solve, then we have a terrible choice. Businesses that do not hedge against the threat of uncertain outcomes fail. Of course, that is true. The world cannot afford such recklessness on climate change. There are businesses who do not hedge against the threat of climate change or any other threat or uncertainty. They will fail. Hedging पता है आपको? Hedging the risk बोलते हैं. हाँ, पता है? Hedging, हाँ, कम करना. Hedging the risk, reducing the risk. Hedging उसी को बोलते हैं, risk कम करना. So you don't, in terms of share market, you don't invest all your money in one company or one sector. You diversify your assets, you diversify your portfolio so that risk is hedged. एक जगह नुकसान हो तो दूसरी जगह पे फायदा होके hedge हो जाए वो थोड़ा बहुत. That is hedging. So companies that do not hedge against such uncertainties will fail, and we cannot afford such recklessness again when it comes to climate change. Fine. Question: crucial message conveyed. Crucial message conveyed. A. The businesses that cause emission may need to close down or pay for the pollution in future. Okay, let us read other options. The only solution, only बोला, बात खत्म. Because whenever we have those climate discussion, अगर only एक solution होता तो जाते उधर discuss करने, नहीं जाते. Solution कभी एक नहीं होता. There are hundreds of stakeholders, and everyone needs to come on same page and work together to really reduce impact of climate change. ठीक है? Waiting to deal with carbon emissions until technology improves is not a wise strategy, right? Because technology may not solve it, and since future technological change is uncertain, new industries should be based on renewable energy sources. It's also fine, but author वो बोला नहीं है, author ने बोला नहीं है. बाकी हमें पता है कि यार हाँ should, yes it should, but it has nothing to do with the passage. Fourth statement has nothing to do with the passage. Second is extreme. We are left with, again, as always, two choices. Do we ever talk about businesses closing down? We always talk about sustainability. that how businesses need to shift towards less carbon emissions technologies. Our coal power plants need to put in thermal precipitators, etc., to reduce pollution. We always talk about shifting to renewable energies, right? Better battery technologies, using solar and wind energy in our companies, rooftop, etc. So close down नहीं, close down के बारे में क्यों भाई, इंडस्ट्री close down करोगे तो क्या होगा? Huge costs. Pay for pollution is also fine from our other knowledge. वो भी नहीं बोला है इसने. ऑथर ने बोला है कि polluter pays principle यूज करो ना. But this author has clearly said that technology may not or might not solve it, and that will leave us with a terrible choice. The choice we cannot make. That is why it is not a wise strategy to wait for technology. Answer here is C. And once you are left with two choices, then look at the passage again to see which of those two passage will imply. और passage से जुड़ा हुआ कौन सा है? One of those two will not be linked with passage. One of those two will be. One option will always be extreme, which can easily you can eliminate. One will be absolutely tangent, which you can easily eliminate, and then you are left with two options. One of course would be the right answer, and another would be correct, technically correct, or otherwise also you feel that this is also fair. But if you look at the passage, there will be slight differences than what passage says. And anyway, here businesses come at the end, but for technology he talks about 3-4 lines. That was the core focus of the passage. So according to me, answer should be C. We will see when the answer key comes. हाँ, बट मे में भी क्लोज डाउन, यार क्लोज डाउन कैसे करोगे तुम? इंडस्ट्री क्लोज डाउन तो नहीं कर सकते, और वो भी आप बोला तो है नहीं ना उसने कि ऐसा करना पड़ेगा, बट टेक्नोलॉजी के लिए स्पेसिफिकली बोला है उसने कि इफ यू बिकॉज इट माइट नॉट सॉल्व, देन वी आर रेफर टू टेरेबल चॉइस. सो इट इज नॉट अ वाइज थिंग टू बेसिकली वेट फॉर टेक्नोलॉजी. दैट इज क्लियर इम्प्लीकेशन. ये थोड़ा सा फारफिच्ड हो जाता है, पे फॉर पोल्यूशन वगैरह, राइट? और पैसेजेस ऑन क्लाइमेट चेंज, नॉट ऑन पोल्यूशन, वो भी तो बात है. पैसेज ऑथर इज नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट पोल्यूशन एनीवेयर. ऑथर इज टॉकिंग अबाउट emissions, not pollution. Emissions meaning carbon emissions, pollution meaning all kinds of pollution, river pollution, water pollution, ये pollution, वो pollution. Do you know this term called global dimming? Global warming पता है? There is another term called global dimming. Dimming, dim होना, light dim करते, right? So global dimming, it refers to the phenomena that whatever particulate matter we emit in the atmosphere, it basically reflects the sunlight. That should come otherwise. So it doesn't let sun rays reach the earth. So it acts as a dimming device. It dims the sunlight and reduces warming effect. So it cools down the earth. हाँ, volcanic impact है, but otherwise human impact भी तो है ना. Volcanic impact once in a while in some specified areas. This is everywhere. Particulate matter is everywhere. PM 2.5, PM 10, aerosols, etc. ये वो सब कुछ. That reflects the sunlight and it reduces warming impact. So basically, what we say is, from 1760s, 1750s we compare, there is 22% reduction in sunlight reaching the earth, in amount of sunlight that is reaching the earth. Again, you can read about it. I had read this in one of the articles. That is why I remember that. ठीक, वो हो सकता है जो मैंने आर्टिकल में पढ़ा था. हाँ ठीक है, आप चेक कर लेना, पढ़ लेना थोड़ा इस पे. But what it implies is that it is also having a lot of impact across the global environment. बिकॉज हीट उतनी पहुंचती नहीं है, तो there will be less moisture generation over the oceans, there will be less rainfall, and there will be, if less rainfall, more droughts, heat waves, etc., etc. So it's a cycle, right? One thing leads to another. And global warming and global dimming is happening together, right? Yes, it is negating. अगर वो नहीं होता तो बहुत ज्यादा वार्मिंग हो जाता. So when we are trying to reduce global warming effect, at the same time we have to reduce our particulate matter pollution as well. Both have to go together hand in hand. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि एक पे ही काम करोगे तो दूसरा चलते दोगे. Because global dimming alone would be much more harmful and global warming alone would be much more harmful than what is happening today. In a way, it is negating it. Negative means reduce कर रहा है उसका impact. And I found it fascinating when I read it. You can also read about it. चले next booklet. हाँ कोई कुछ बोल रहा था क्या? जस्ट डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हो क्लास को ऐसे. Next is ratio and proportion. Another simple topic, something most of the things which we have already covered in our arithmetic, because ratio is nothing but fraction. Ratio is nothing but fraction or division, and we have already learnt all the rules, how to operate on fractions, addition of fraction, subtraction of fraction, multiplication, division, etc. of fraction. So all those things would be exactly applicable to ratios. Few extra things we will do. One is that merging two independent ratios to find out relation between two or three or more quantities. Again, fraction, there are only two numbers, a is to b or a by b. Here we can have ratio, different ratios among different things, like all of you, number of marks you get would be, if I compare all of them in terms of ratios, in terms of ratio or proportion, I can compare 2 is to 3 is to 4 is to 5 is to 6 is to 2 is to, again something like that. And another one more thing, milk and water problems is something that is one of the frequently asked questions that we'll do in this chapter. And last new thing we'll do is partnerships, that two people or more people invest in a company, they start a company together, they invest some money for some time. Maybe I invest for 1 year, you invest for 6 months, you invest more money, I invest less money. Still, my time of investment will also be calculated whenever there is profit and we want to distribute profit among ourselves. The basic funda of that chapter is profit, whatever the profit at the year end that will be there for the company, that will be divided in the same ratio as investment. वो करेंगे. बाकी फिर PYQs, again small chapter like averages, PYQs are there, of course we will solve PYQ. Ratio, if there are two quantities A and B having same units, their ratio will be their fraction. So A is to B is same as A divided by B or A by B. This is your ratio. Then from our fractions we know that it doesn't matter if we multiply both numerator and denominator by same number. Fraction does not change. If I have any fraction, I can multiply both numerator and denominator by same number and fraction remains same, right? Because I can cancel in, no problem. Similarly, I can divide A and B both by a fixed number and fraction does not change, because division is nothing but opposite of multiplication. Dividing by n is equivalent to multiplication by 1 by n. So I can multiply by 1 by n to both numerator and denominator and fraction does not change. What we mean is that A is to B is same as 2A is to 2B, is same as 5A is to 5B and is equal to N is to NB. So in general this is true. It doesn't matter that we multiply all the all the elements of the ratio involved by a fixed quantity, ratio remains same. Okay? We can multiply all the things by same quantity or divide all the things by same quantity, ratio does not change. But if we add, then ratio changes. फॉर एग्जाम्पल a by b इज नॉट इक्वल टू a प्लस के बाय b प्लस के, एक पी वाई क्यों किया था हमने, डू यू रिमेंबर? द क्वेश्चन गेव, question said that we have a proper fraction and we add a non-zero positive number to both numerator and denominator, and what happens to a fraction? याद है ये क्वेश्चन? नहीं यार, नहीं बोल रहे हो? किया था हमने. Question said that we have a proper fraction and we add same quantity, same positive quantity to both numerator and denominator, so that it becomes something like this, na? If k is some positive quantity, then it becomes something like this, and we had to decide क्या आएगा साइन, ये आएगा, ये आएगा, ये आएगा, क्या है, या फिर cannot be said. That those were the 4 options. याद है? कैसे हो याद तुम लोग? किसी को याद नहीं आ रहा? Nobody is remembering. अच्छा, बोला था मैं. Question said that we have a proper fraction, and there I pointed out why these terminologies are important. ये सब हाँ. So the question was this, that we have a proper fraction and the same quantity is added to both numerator and denominator. Then what happens to the fraction? Does it remain same? Does it increase? Does it decrease? Or cannot be said? नहीं याद आ रहा? आप करो. नहीं याद आ रहा तो कर लो फिर. क्वेश्चन समझ गए? क्वेश्चन एवरीबॉडी अंडरस्टूड? क्या गूगल कर रहे हो? क्यों? आंसर नहीं देखना है? यही है ना? थैंक यू. वही है ना? तुम्हें याद नहीं आ रहा तो मेरे पे डाउट होगा, है ना? ये क्या बात है? We have a proper fraction. We have a proper fraction, and question says that if we increase both numerator and denominator by a fixed positive non-zero quantity, तो कोई k ले लो, then what happens to a fraction? Same quantity both numerator and denominator में ऐड किया, and options were that ratio decreases, ratio increases, ratio remains same, and cannot be said. Those were the 4 options. Solve. Recall relative size of number chapter. How did we compare two fractions? करो, देखना नहीं है, करना है. हाँ, that was special case. That was not general thing. That was special case when we have n by n plus 1 types. ये तो जनरल a by b है. Okay. वो तो उल्टा बोल रहा है तुमसे पूरा. अच्छा, वो अलग है. हमें उनमें मत गिनो, वो अलग है ना, मीम आता है. हाँ हाँ हाँ, तो ए बी कैंसिल हो जाएगा. ये कैंसिल होगा. हाँ, अब बताओ, अब कैसे बड़ा कैसे डिसाइड करते हैं हम लोग? कैसे करते हैं? क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई करके बड़ा कैसे डिसाइड करते हैं? जिसका न्यूमरेटर वाला मल्टीप्लिकेशन बड़ा, वो नंबर बड़ा. अब क्या है देखो, जो न्यूमरेटर अगर 2/5 और 3/7 है, तो हम ये करते हैं, जो बड़ा गए तो हाँ 7 to 14 और ये 15, तो ये बड़ा होता है जिसके न्यूमरेटर के साथ ये वाला डिनोमिनेटर लिया, वो करो उधर.
पहले से double नहीं
गलती की है तुमने। हाँ, हाँ। तो प्रॉपर फ्रैक्शन दिया है ना, मैंने वही तो बोला था व्हाई इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट कि यहाँ पे प्रॉपर फ्रैक्शन दिया है। प्रॉपर फ्रैक्शन क्या होता है? नहीं, तो बी बड़ा है दिया है क्वेश्चन में, दैट इट इज अ प्रॉपर फ्रैक्शन। वी क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई, 2 साल नहीं हुए हमें चैप्टर पढ़ के। वी क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई एंड यहाँ पे बी इंटू ए प्लस के, साइन सेम रहता है जो होना चाहिए, ए बी प्लस ए के, ए बी प्लस बी के, साइन सेम रहता है। वी सब्ट्रैक्ट ए बी फ्रॉम बोथ द साइड्स, so it goes away. Then we divide both the sides by k because it is non-zero given है। So here we have a, here we have b. We are given that it is a proper fraction, meaning denominator is greater than numerator. So we know that this is the sign. So this is the sign, this is the sign, this is the sign. ये किया हुआ क्वेश्चन है हमने। It's a proper fraction बोला है क्वेश्चन में। Yes, this is a by b. And here also I have mentioned a by b is not equal to a plus k by b plus k. In fact, for a positive k, a plus b less than a plus k by b plus k. If a by b is less than 1, that is a by b is a proper fraction. ठीक है? Now proportion is nothing special. When two ratios are equal, we call it a proportion and we represent it like this. A by b is equal to c by d. इसको ऐसे भी लिखा जाता है a by b, then 4 dots and c by d. इसका मतलब है a upon b is equal to c upon d or ad equal to bc. Right? Fractions equality we know. When are two fractions equal? When their cross product is same. Fine, कोई problem? So far in definitions, no problem. Next is merging two ratios having a common element. There are two ratios, different ratios given, and we want to merge those two ratios. If both a by b and a is to b and b is to c is b are known, then we can merge those two ratios into one using a common element as a bridge. ठीक है? For example, a by b is equal to 2 by 3 and b by c is equal to 6 by 11. A by b is equal to 2 by 3 and b by c is equal to 6 by 11. Here b, here there is b, common hai. Here b corresponds to 3. Here b corresponds to. If somehow I can make two of them same, then I can merge those two ratios. What does this mean? If a has 2, then b has 3. This means if b has 6, then c has 11. Now if I multiply this entire ratio by 2, I'll get 4 is to 6 and ratio does not change. Now what does this mean? If a has 4, b has 6, and here it means if b has 6, c has 11. In both the cases b has 6. So I can say a is to b is to c is equal to 4 is to 6 is to 11. Right? I have merged the two ratios using the common element as a bridge. And I can do this with other ratios as well. For example, question देखो, a is to b. Let us go there. A is to b is equal to ले लो from 1 is to 7 and b is to c. You can take it as 11 is to 13. Then merge these two ratios.
11 by
Hmm? Hmm.
हाँ 7
11
13 का टेबल नहीं आता यार तुम लोग को, बताओ क्या हालत है, वेरी डिसअपॉइंटिंग। हाँ, वी वांट टू मेक दिस सेम, इसको 11 से मल्टीप्लाई करना है, इसको 7 से करना है, एलसीएम, एलसीएम तक लेके जाओ उसको। तो इफ यू वांट टू मल्टीप्लाई दिस बाय 11, यू हैव 11 is to 77, this has 77, so I can merge now. We have 11 is to 77 is to 90, 13 into 7 बोल रहे हो, 91 नहीं बोल सकते, 13 का टेबल नहीं आ रहा। यस करेक्ट यशराज, कब से बोल रहा हूँ, आई एम टॉकिंग फ्रॉम लेक्चर नंबर 1। कितने लेक्चर हुए अपने अभी टेबल्स? हाँ ठीक है, एक्सप्लेन दैट टू यूपीएससी, नॉट टू मी। हाँ 7 का तो टेबल याद है ना, गुड। अरे ये अरे तो फॉर्मूला थोड़ी है, तो टेबल से मैंने बोला था फर्स्ट लेक्चर में दैट इट विल बी बेनिफिशियल। ये टाइम ये एग्जाम में करोगे? कैसे बोल रहे हो तुम लोग? Would you be doing that in examination? हाँ करो करो। क्वेश्चन देखो अच्छे से। देखो इधर भी ये है, इधर भी ये है, दिस ए करस्पॉन्ड्स टू दिस, दिस ए करस्पॉन्ड्स टू दिस, तो इन दोनों को सेम बनाना है। You have to multiply this by 11 and this by 3. If you multiply this by 11, you get 33, and if you multiply this by 3, you get, you have A is to B is to C. This would be the ratio. ठीक है, लास्ट क्वेश्चन इसमें से करो। करो, मुझे देखना ही है कैसे। हाँ तो टेबल रटने को बोला था मैंने तुम्हें। देखो ये 11 की जगह है ना, इसको 7 कर दो चलो। हो गया, बताओ। थर्टी फाइव 11 था, मैंने 7 कर दिया। कौन सा, ये 7 कर दिया मैंने, ऊपर तो 19 ही था, ऊपर कब जो अलग था? नहीं, तुम अपना आंसर बताओ। 285। Let me verify. Okay, Abhijit, Ashwini, all are getting same answer. Fine. 5 people are agreeing, so it must be correct. Third thing is C is common. So you have to merge using these things. You have to make them same. So you have to multiply this by 19, this by 7, and then this might come. 19 sevens are दिख रहा है ना सामने? Sure. अच्छा, okay. Fine, good. So you understood what you have to do, how to merge ratios. Here 2 is there, but 3 ratio, 3 ka ratio is also you can merge, no issue. Then there are some properties that you have definitely studied in schools. So we are just kind of revising. If you can remember them, if you face difficulty in remembering them, then don't. That is always an option with us. That is always an option with us. Then we have to again do everything by cross multiplication, because all these properties comes from cross multiplication only. Two ratios are equal when cross multiplication is equal. That we know, because two ratios are nothing but fraction. A by B is equal to C by D, meaning AD is equal to BC. That fact we just have to use to derive all these formulas. But if you can remember few of them, it would be good, especially the last two. First is called invertendo. Invertendo means if A by B is equal to C by D, then B by A is equal to D by C. उल्टा करोगे तो भी इक्वल रहेगा, no problem. Invertendo. Then second is alternando. A by B is equal to C by D, then A by B is equal to C by D. You can alternate, उसके न्यूमरेटर को इसका डिनोमिनेटर बनाओ, इसके डिनोमिनेटर को उसका न्यूमरेटर बनाओ. That doesn't matter, ratio remains the same. Why? Because cross product remains the same. Why should it change? Right? In your school days, when we were writing proofs, you had to write all those names by using alternando, by using invertendo, all. We are not trying to do that. We just have to just go through the rules and see if one of them is helpful or not. Next is componendo. Here we have A by B is equal to C by D, and then we add this denominator to numerator, and we get A plus B by B is equal to C plus D by D. Denominator numerator में add हो जाता है हर जगह पे बस. Rest of the things remain same. Proof, cross multiply and check हो जाता है. ठीक है, just denominator add हो जाता है. A plus B by B is equal to C plus D by D. This is componendo. Next is dividendo. वहां पे A minus B हो जाता है. A minus B by B is equal to C minus D by D. That is called dividendo. And last is componendo dividendo, जहां पे both these properties merge and we get, if A by B is equal to C by D, then A plus B by A minus B is equal to C plus D by C minus D. Right? If you can, last three properties you can remember, that it would be good. Otherwise छोड़ दो, क्रॉस मल्टीप्लिकेशन कैसे कर लेंगे क्वेश्चन. एक आध स्टेप ज्यादा हो जाएगा, इससे ज्यादा क्या होगा? इट इज फाइन, एब्सोल्युटली फाइन, नो इश्यूज, ठीक है. But just I'm just going through the properties. In case some of you want to remember it, you can. It is not the worst idea to just have it back of your mind. Last two things. Last वाला तो ये देख ही लो. If we have a by b is equal to c by d is equal to e by f, all these ratios are equal, and say they are equal to k. If all these ratios are equal and equal to k, some k, then if you add all the numerators and all the denominators, ratio does not change. Each ratio is equal to a plus c plus e plus dot 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 plus upon b plus d plus c dot dot dot. ठीक है, सारे न्यूमरेटर्स ऐड कर दो, सारे डिनोमिनेटर्स ऐड कर दो, रेशियो डज नॉट चेंज. फॉर एग्जांपल 3/4 is equal to 6/8 is equal to 9/12, 9/12. So we add all the numerator, 3 plus 6 9, 9 plus 9 18, and then add all the denominators. This is 18 is to 24, same as all these ratios. ठीक है, सारे न्यूमरेटर्स ऐड कर दो, सारे डिनोमिनेटर्स ऐड कर दो of equal ratios, then the ratio does not change. That is what this rule is. Okay, ठीक है. So these are k sum ratio का वैल्यू मैं बोल रहा हूं. K sum, each ratio is equal to k. I don't want to write every ratio here. That is why I am writing using the intermediary as k. Equal है ना सब, तो कुछ तो k वैल्यू है उसकी. तो वो I want to write this. A by b is equal to c by d is equal to e by f is equal to a plus c plus e by b plus d plus f. And there could be multiple ratios, and all those numerator and denominator can be added, no problem. Again, proof is by cross multiplication and verification. Any issues? Invertendo, alternando, componendo, dividendo, and componendo, dividendo. And our last property of adding all the numerators and denominators of equal fractions or equal ratios. ठीक है. Next चले. Next we want to cover direct and inverse proportion. Direct proportion or direct variation is the relation between two quantities when the ratio of two is equal to a constant value. It is represented by the proportion symbol. Here, if one quantity increases, another will also increase. If one quantity decreases, another will also decrease. So these two quantities are connected to each other directly. Increase होंगी तो दोनों होंगी, decrease होंगी तो दोनों होंगी, such that the ratio between the two of them is constant. If I write A is proportional to B, A is directly proportional to B, it implies A is equal to some constant into B. That is, ratio between A and B is some constant. If A and B are directly proportional, it means that ratio between two of them is some constant, or A is equal to some constant into B. For example, if I have to, if there is a race, and we are three people starting from the same starting line, and the race is of 2 hours, exactly 2 hours. Whoever travels the farthest distance will win. Okay, the time is constant, 2 hours. Everybody has only 2 hours to run. Okay, time is constant. Everybody has 2 hours to run. So whoever runs faster will cover more distance. So speed and distance are directly proportional. If you run faster, you will cover more distance. If you run less fast, you will cover less distance. So distance and speed are directly proportional. On the other hand, there is something called as inverse proportion. That is, multiplication of those two things is same. Here ratio of those two things was same. Here multiplication is same. Meaning, if one increases, other has to decrease. If one decreases, other has to increase. In our वो वाला chapter, कौन सा वाला chapter? Percentage chapter. We were studying about keeping expenditure constant. Expenditure is equal to rate into consumption. So when rate was increasing, consumption had to decrease. When rate was decreasing, consumption had to increase such that expenditure is constant. Multiplication of two things is constant. In this race wala question, if the race is of some constant distance, like 5 km race, then the one who travels faster will take less time to travel because distance is equal to speed into time. जितना तेज भागोगे उतना कम टाइम लगेगा. More faster you run, less time you will take. Slower you run, more time you will take. So time and speed are inversely proportional, right? If the distance is constant. ठीक है? That is what we mean by direct and inverse proportion. Direct proportion is shown like this. Inverse proportion is shown like A is inversely proportional to B or directly proportional to 1 by B. इसका मतलब क्या होगा? A is equal to some constant divided by B, that is AB is equal to some constant. यहाँ पे AB is equal to constant होगा, यहाँ पे A by B is equal to constant होगा. This is direct proportion, this is inverse proportion. यहाँ पे ये बढ़ेगा तो इसको भी बढ़ना पड़ेगा रेशियो सेम रखने के लिए, और ये घटेगा तो इसको भी घटना पड़ेगा रेशियो सेम रखने के लिए. यहाँ पे if A increases, B has to decrease to keep product as same, and if A decreases, then B has to increase to keep product as same, right? That is your direct and inverse proportion. Meaning समझ गए दोनों का? Fine. Now let us solve few questions before going to the new sections of milk and water or partnerships. Solve this question. There is a answer or solution also given. Please don't look at it. हाँ. हो गया? हो गया? सॉल्यूशन तो गिवन है. The question can be solved by componendo dividendo or by directly cross multiplying. Cross multiplication is also easy, no problem. You can simply multiply, cross multiply, take x on one side, take x on another side, and you get solution. Or by componendo dividendo, this is you observe that this is 3y, this is minus 3y. So if you add both of them, they will get cancelled, and if you subtract, then 2x will get cancelled. So you do componendo dividendo, add and subtract 2x plus 3y plus 2x minus 3y, 2x plus 3y minus 2x minus 3y. So here 3y will get cancelled, here 2x will get cancelled. So 4x by 3y equal to 6 by 4, x by y is equal to 9 by 4. Answer will be same in both the cases. ठीक है? Next question. Solution देखना मत. हो गया? Try to solve on your own first. हो गया? निरंजन, ये हो गया ना? सही है? Any issue? We are given ratio of areas of two squares. You know that area of square is side square. So you have, if sides are a and b, you are given ratio of a square and b square. That from there you have to find out ratio of a and b, which is 3:4. and perimeters are 4A and 4B. So ratio is 4A by 4B, is same as A by B, is same as 3 by 4. Right? हाँ, स्क्वायर ज्योमेट्री वाला स्क्वायर, एरिया की बात हो रही है ना. If side is A, area is A square, and side is B, area is B square. You are given A square by B square. You can take square root of both the sides because these are fractions. You can take square root. So A by B is 3 by 4. Question is ratio of perimeters. Perimeter is 4A by 4B. 4A is a perimeter of square. Sum of lengths of sides. Right? Correct. So we have 4A by 4B is equal to A by B only, because 4 can get cancelled. Common thing you can cancel easily. Correct? Depend करेगा what you are talking about. If you are talking about area of circle, it is pi r square. तो वहाँ पे भी r square आएगा. Pi will be cancelled. If it is what else? Rectangle will be length into breadth. Then you will be given area from only area of rectangle का ratio. You won't get length का ratio and breadth का ratio. You need some more information. Next. हो गया? We have the ratio. We have the ratio. So when we have angles in this ratio 6:8:10:12, you know that their actual measurements, absolute measurements are some 6 into x, 8 into x, 10 into x and 12 into x, right? Because when we take ratio, that x has got cancelled, but otherwise everything is in the ratio. So absolute values are in the same ratio. Absolute values thus would be 6x, 8x, 10x and 12x. Right? If you add, you get 36x, and total, you know, quadrilateral has sum of all the angles as 360 degree. 360. So x is 10. The smallest would be 6 into x, that is 60 degree. Another way to look at this is, let us just make these many divisions of 360. 12 plus 10, 22 plus 8, 30 plus 6, 36. So we make 36 divisions of 360. Give 6 to this, give 8 to this, give 10 to this and give 12 to this. So you make 36 division of 360, each division is of 10 then. 360 by 36. You give him 6 divisions, 10 into 6. Okay? Same thing, just a way of thinking is different, little different. Next, okay? Fourth question. फोर्थ क्वेश्चन हो गया. करो, ट्राई करो, कर लिया. कैसे नहीं हुआ यार? बहुत सिंपल है. 20%, जस्ट राइट इट. 20%, राइट 20% as 20 by 100. हाँ, क्या हो सकता है पता नहीं. कहीं तो गलती कर दी, कहीं तो कैलकुलेशन मिस्टेक कर दिया तुमने. 20% is 20 by 100. 50% is 50 by 100. So we have p plus q by 5 is equal to p minus q by 2, because it's 50% है ना. So you can cross multiply now, right? If you cross multiply, you will get वो ठीक है. If you cross multiply, you get 2 into p plus q is equal to 5 into p minus q. You get 2p plus 2q is equal to 5p minus 5q. Take p on one side and q on another side. 2 यहाँ पे, p यहाँ पे लाओ, q वहाँ पे जाओ. So 7q, 2q plus 5q, and this is 5p minus 2p. इधर आएगा तो माइनस आएगा वो, is equal to 3p. So p is to q. इज इक्वल टू 7 बाय क्यू इधर लाना है तो पी को उधर भेज, इसको 3 को उधर भेजना है नीचे। वो पास करना निरंजन। Calculation error है in the last line, in the very last line you brought, okay रुक लो, बैठो बैठो उधर 20 तुमने 50p को इधर लाया तो 20 minus 50 minus 30p, that is correct. But if you take this 20q on that side, if minus 50 minus 20 would be minus 70. Should we continue this और पैसेज करना है एक? हाँ, ये कंटिन्यू कर सकते हैं लेकिन खत्म नहीं होगा ना. Anyway, this booklet is not getting over right now. PYQs तो कल करनी ही है. So let us do tomorrow. Let us do one comprehension. आंसर yes, online students. ऑनलाइन स्टूडेंट्स बताओ. सी सी ए कौन बोल रहा है? 2 सी 6 7 डी. ओके, I also don't know the answer. I will give you my opinion because it's against 2023 question, and one of those questions about which there is a lot of debate still. There is a lot of doubt. So again, take whatever my opinion is with pinch of salt. Whatever my bab comes up with as an answer, we will accept that and move on. Yes. Environmental problems cause health problems. Yes, no problem in that statement. Substantial changes in lifestyle can reduce environmental or health problems. Of course, substantial changes in lifestyle you have to do to reduce, can reduce environmental or health problems, but this idea appears almost impossible to adapt, right? With environmental problems, individual efforts can be perceived as having a negligible effect and therefore lead to inertia. लगता है ऐसा? यार मैं अकेला क्या कर लूंगा? How can I as an individual tackle the climate change? So author is saying that this can be perceived as having negligible effect and therefore lead to inertia. तो फिर छोड़ ही देता हूं ना यार, मैं नहीं फैन चलाऊंगा तो क्या होगा? दुनिया बचा दूंगा क्या फैन नहीं चला के? चला ही देता हूं. Somebody else will not do that. With health on the other hand, individual choices can make the difference of life and death. Of course, अपना हेल्थ अच्छा रखोगे तो तुम बचोगे, नहीं रखोगे तो तुम मरोगे. तो इंडिविजुअल चॉइसेस अबाउट लाइफस्टाइल मैटर अ लॉट, लिटरली. एंड येट barring a few, there seems to be some collective lethargy towards making their choices. मतलब वहां पे तो ये है, the environmental, when tackling to environmental issues, individual may perceive that whatever I do is going to be insignificant and so नहीं करता हूं. There is inertia. But when it comes to individual health, it will make a difference of life and death about the choices you make, and still there is inertia. That is what author is angry or concerned about. And yet, barring a few, there seems to be a collective lethargy towards making their choices. सभी lethargic है, inertia हम में है. जिम जाने में मौत आती है, सुबह 8 बजे क्लास के लिए उठने में मौत आती है. सुबह उठना so good for your health. बोला जाता है सर्केडियन रिदम, पता है आपको? Do you know this term, circadian rhythm? Yes, na? So human beings have evolved to sleep during night and stay awake during day. So if you do opposite, if you stay awake after 10, 11, 12, 13, 1, 2, then you are actually disturbing your body's circadian rhythm and it creates issues. ऐसा रिसर्च भी है, काफी रिसर्च है. आई थिंक नोबेल भी मिला था कुछ टाइम पहले, 1-2 साल पहले, नोबेल प्राइज इन मेडिसिन इसी को मिला था. Read about it, you can read about circadian rhythm. You can quote these kind of terms in essays, अच्छा लगता है. हाँ, तो आप डिस्टर्ब कर रहे हो. 3 बजे उठ जाते हो? अच्छा, उठते हो सोते हो? क्यों? सोते कब हो? और So you sleep only for 4 hours, 5 hours. Achha. You should sleep like 7 hours. Don't compromise on your sleep. 6-7 hours. That will increase your productivity. If somebody's body has adapted to work at peak with 4-5 hours of sleep, let him be, but don't be like him. Let him do his thing. You do your thing. 6-7 hours of sleep is important, and that sleep should be in the night period. 11 से 6 सो लेना, वो वाले बात. If you sleep between 11 to 6, that would be beneficial for your health in long term as well as short term. You will be more energetic, etc. etc. Coming back to the question, which of the following statement best implies the most rational assumption that can be made from the passage? Assumption, something the author has taken for granted, something that is in his mind. ठीक है? In passage, he seems to be very agitated about behavior of people regarding their health choices, where there is unexplicable inertia while making those choices, despite knowing very well that these choices will create difference between life and death. That is author's main purpose. That seems to be on the author's mind. Now let us read the option. We are likely to spend more money on cure than prevention. Okay. It is the job of government to solve our environmental and public health problems. Okay. C. Health can be protected even if environmental problems go unattended. Okay. Loss of traditional lifestyle and the influence of Western values lead to some unhealthy way of living. This is completely wrong. The author is not at all concerned about Western lifestyle or Eastern lifestyle. Author is concerned about sedentary lifestyle more. Right? That not making right choice. Author is more concerned about choices individuals make rather than influence of some Western values or something. Right? Values की तो बात हो ही नहीं रहे. So B is absolutely not correct. Then it is the job of government to solve our environmental and public health problems. Again, very tangent to the topic. Topic at hand is not about this at all. That who should spend money. Fine. Then we are again left with 2. First, let us read again. We are likely to spend more money on cure than prevention. Is that fair assumption on part of author? The inertia with respect to work. Inertia मतलब मुझे जिम नहीं जाना है, बोर हो रहा हूं मैं. It is not about spending money. It is about spending time as well. You are not spending effort as well, giving effort as well. Author is more talking about that, no? You are not giving effort, even while knowing it is difference between life and death. वो बोल रहा है ना वो. मनी तो ठीक है, मनी की बात वैसे हो नहीं रही है डायरेक्टली, बट ऑथर्स concern seems to be more about efforts that individuals make rather than on money. हाँ. We are likely to spend more money on cure than prevention. Again, I think it is bit of a stretch. This argument is. I personally would go with C. Again, what UPSC gives answer, we will see and we will justify accordingly. हाँ, अब क्या कर सकते हैं यार? हाँ. हाँ. Because the idea in the passage is that to take care of the things which are in your hand so that they don't get worsened. To compare health और environment से कर रहा है. उसका idea है कि पूरी prevent करो. वही बोल रहा है स्टेटमेंट सी. स्टेटमेंट सी का वही है. देखो स्टेटमेंट सी क्या बोल रहा है? Health can be protected even if environmental problems go unattended. मतलब this is in your hand. Health can be protected by you. That is not in your hand. नहीं पैसेज हेल्थ पे है. ऑथर्स मेन कंसर्न ऑफ द पैसेज वाज ऑलवेज इन्वायरमेंटल प्रॉब्लम. मैं समझता हूं कि यू मे फील इनर्शिया बिकॉज यू मे फील दैट इंडिविजुअल मे नॉट हैव इंपैक्ट, बट हेल्थ में तो ऐसा नहीं है ना, फिर क्यों ऐसा कर रहे हो? वो बोलना चाह रहा है ऑथर. हेल्थ में तो सब तुम्हारे हाथ में है, फिर भी तुम ऐसा कर रहे हो. दैट इज व्हाट पैसेज इज अबाउट. ऑथर इज क्लियरली एजिटेटेड. यस. हाँ, यहाँ पे है ना, आगे भी पैसेज है ना. नहीं नहीं नहीं, ऑथर है ना, बाकी है ना पैसेज. कैन बी प्रिवेंटेड. अब ठीक है, मतलब ये इफ योर आर्ग्यूमेंट इज की एक्सट्रीम स्टेटमेंट है, कैन बी प्रिवेंटेड इवन इफ दे गो अनअटेंडेड, तो एक्सट्रीम स्टेटमेंट मैं मान लिया, बट अल्टरनेटिव बेटर नहीं है. क्या वी हैव टू चूज व्हाट इज बेस्ट अमंग गिवन ऑप्शंस ना. I agree with your argument that if you are living in Delhi and environmental problem go unattended, you will not be healthy. तुम्हारे हमेशा गले में खराश रहेगी. I agree. But is there any better option? There is not a better option. Yashraj, yes, you may speak. Hmm. 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 Yes. और देखो, प्राइमरी रैशनल शुड बी कि वापस पैसेज पे चले जाओ कि पैसेज क्या बोल रहा है, मतलब पैसेज जो चीज बोल रहा है वो उससे कौन सा ऑप्शन करीब है, रादर देन कि कौन सा एक्स्ट्रा जो दो बचते हैं, वट एवर टू ऑप्शन यू आर लेफ्ट विथ अल्टीमेटली, उसमें से कौन सा एक्सट्रीम है, थोड़ा सा एक्सट्रीम ज्यादा एक्सट्रीम से, बेटर इज गो बैक टू द पैसेज एंड सी पैसेज से कौन सा ज्यादा करीब है एंड कौन सा थोड़ा टेंजेंट है. यहाँ पे स्पेंडिंग मनी थोड़ा टेंजेंट है, एंड दैट टू बस मनी की बात ऑथर तो कर ही नहीं रहा, ऑथर तो एफर्ट्स की बात कर रहा है, तो दैट सीम्स टू बी मोर टेंजेंट. यहाँ पे हेल्थ की बात हो रही है, हेल्थ कैन बी प्रिवेंटेड इफ यू वर्क, वो वाली बात हो रही है. यस, दिस थिंग अगर इसको थोड़ा सा एक्सट्रीम लेके इलिमिनेट कर दोगे तो तुम जो मेन पार्ट ऑफ द कॉम्प्रिहेंशन है, विच इज दैट पीपल आर नॉट विलिंग टू पुट इन हार्ड यार्ड्स ऑन देयर हेल्थ, वही मिस कर जाओगे अगर इसको एक्सट्रीम करके इलिमिनेट करना चाहोगे तो. यू हैव टू, 5-6 होते हैं यार, नहीं उतने आते हैं, अब क्या कर सकते हैं, नहीं आते हैं उतने पैसे, जब क्या कर सकते हैं. ठीक है यशराज. रीता, गुड मॉर्निंग. अब दिस इज टफ क्वेश्चन, क्योंकि थोड़ा सा इससे भी एक बहुत टफ पैसेज इस बार था. एक कोई तो था यार, अभी मुझे याद नहीं है. यस, कोई नेक्स्ट बुकलेट में आई विल इंक्लूड दैट, वी कैन डिस्कस दैट. उसका आंसर आज भी मैं श्योर नहीं हूँ. हाँ, मतलब वेरी कंफ्यूजिंग पैसेज ऑल्सो, वेरी कॉम्प्लेक्स लैंग्वेज ऑल्सो, ऑप्शन लैंग्वेज इज ऑल्सो क्वाइट कॉम्प्लिकेटेड. आई लेफ्ट इट इन द एग्जामिनेशन हॉल एज वेल, तो मतलब कोई सेंस नहीं लगा मुझे अटेम्प्ट करने का. इनफ अटेम्प्ट तो हो गए थे मेरे, मतलब 78 वगैरह हो गए थे, एक दो छोड़ दो. 78-80 तो मेरा पहुंच जाता है यार यूजुअली. नहीं, आज सिखाने की बात नहीं है, फ्रॉम माय फर्स्ट अटेम्प्ट आई हैव बीन डूइंग दैट. हाँ हाँ, मतलब नहीं नहीं, मेरा क्या है ना, मैं बचपन से ऐसे बहुत सारे एग्जाम देते आया हूँ. एनटीएस, नेशनल टैलेंट सर्च एग्जामिनेशन, महाराष्ट्र टैलेंट सर्च एग्जामिनेशन, वेरियस स्कॉलरशिप एग्जामिनेशंस, ओलंपियाड्स, ये वो. सो आई एम हैबिट ऑफ दिस सॉल्विंग दिस काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस, तो इसलिए हो जाता है. एंड आई नेवर मग अप एनी फॉर्मूलाज, ऐसे ही चला जाता हूँ मैं. इसलिए मैं आपको रिकमेंड करता हूँ कि ये जो है जरूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज यू हैव इनफ टाइम. देयर आर सम एग्जामिनेशन जहाँ पे एक आवर में 100 क्वेश्चन करने होते हैं, वहां पे ये सब आप करोगे तो टाइम लगेगा आपको, यार बेसिक से सब कुछ करना चाहोगे. There it might not be suitable. There you may have to, mug up few formulas. That would be faster. But here it is not needed for UPSC CSAT because you have enough time. And this is qualifying paper. You don't have to attempt all the equation. All you have to do is attempt like reasonably enough number of questions with reasonable accuracy, and you are good to go. ठीक है, चले कल मिलते हैं. Have a good day. Yes, Rita, please watch today's lecture and come for tomorrow's one. Tomorrow we will hopefully complete this booklet, ratio and proportion.